channel. Thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time, welcome. Glad you can be here. This track, As Sure as the Globe Spins by Dr. Syntax, has been a highly recommended track. All the way back 5-6 months ago, you cats were asking for this. I did add it into my list, but as you know, I don't do it in order. I kind of pick and choose from the list as I go. Especially lately, there's been so much new hip hop been released in the UK that I'm kind of, I'm kind of focusing on the new stuff more than the old stuff. And that's not necessarily a good thing, not necessarily a bad thing. That's kind of what I've been doing. But this week, I'm definitely going to focus on reaction or recommended reactions. So the 5 videos I do this week, if I do more, great. But I'm going to focus on 5, and all 5 of those are going to be tracks that have been recommended. So we look forward to that. So anyways, a bunch of cats have asked for this track. Too many to list. So this is for you. See what he's got for us. I turn it up.
I've seen men without guts walk around with a proud strut and shout stuff when they should be keeping their mouths shut. Relationships without love, individuals who can't live without drugs to pick.
I'm going to bring it back here because right away, Syntax sounds a little bit different to me from I'm actually turning it down. That's not right. Syntax sounds a little bit different to me on this track. He usually comes off to me as this comic relief. Even though his lyrics are deep, he's still that comic relief type of guy. And then 20 seconds into this track, he already sounds a little bit different, almost like he's on a mission. So I'm interested to see if this continues to go on like this, and if this is going to be different from what I've heard from him. So this, I'm gonna bring it all the way back. You can't stop me. Bring it all the way back. Because that beat's pretty slick too.
I've seen men without guts walk around with a proud strut and shout stuff when they should be keeping their mouths shut. Relationships without love, individuals who can't live without drugs to pick their downs up. Sniffing powder and smoke.
I just love the way that he comes on that track, man, talking about people walking around with their chest out, acting like, they deserve recognition, acting like they've actually done something worthy of that recognition, or they've done something worthy of a pat on the back. And the same type of people are shouting stuff, but meanwhile they should keep their mouth shut. Because a lot of that goes on too, especially nowadays with social media. I mean, this is like 11 years ago, so but it's just as true today, especially a month away from the American election. There's so much, man. There's so much stuff, so much opinion these days where it's either you agree with me or you're against me. And there's a lot of people who, everyone can have their own opinion. You're welcome to your own opinion. But when you have people, wishing people dead and like all kinds of stuff, man, that's just like, some people should just keep their inside voice inside, and think twice about what they're actually writing or saying. Yeah, man, this is it almost sounds like an angry Dr. Syntax, and I like this.
Love, individuals who can't live without drugs to pick their downs up. Sniffing powder and smoking dirty flora, disturbing a person's aura until they react like vermin cornered. With no social skills and working order, so immersed in personal thoughts they forget the world's enormous and full of possibility.
So caught up in their own personal thoughts that they forget that the world's enormous. I often say that all the time when I'm chatting with people, man, is that so many people can't see beyond the end of their own nose, man. And they think that the universe revolves around them, and things that they say, things that they do really have no consequences on other people. and there's other people who feel like everything that happens is somehow happening to them, and they forget the fact, because the vast majority of people don't look past the end of their own nose. They don't even realize that their actions are causing and having consequences on the people around them. And those are the exact same people who feel like everyone else's shit somehow affects them, and they're doing it directly to make their life miserable. And meanwhile, if they just looked in the mirror, they'd realize half the shit they're going through is consequences of their own actions, opinions, beliefs, decisions. Yeah, man, I'm liking this track.
In order, so immersed in personal thoughts, they forget the world's enormous and full of possibilities within their reach. Instead of simply sitting in their little niche, submissively boasting about fictitious feats unconvincingly, just to get the dimmest bins in the sheets and in the streets. These peacocks keep watch on the scene they feed off, so smug and self-assured they don't need gods, just neat tops. Observing with a skewed view of how to achieve lots, it's feasible their ranks to grind them down like beef stock. People chop and change like their impulse governed, looking done in from nights when they sniff coke clubbing. They don't want to learn more cause they're fine where they are, being mindless till Friday night behind the bar. I find it hard to feel
man, they don't want to. He's basically saying they don't. They're so. Maybe people use the word cheap nowadays, but there's so many people who are gleefully unaware of what's happening around them, and as long as they got money in their pocket to buy the shit that they want but really don't need, and they can go to the club on a Friday night, get shit faced, pick up a chick, bring her home. As long as that cycle continues, that's fine with them. They'll be gleefully unaware, and they'd rather live their life that way than to have their eyes opened and see what's really going on and how their decisions are affecting their life and going forward.
Cause they're fine where they are, being mindless till Friday night behind the bar. I find it hard to feel comfortable around friends, acting without sense, more than now and then outspending till they wonder where the pounds went, where the hours went, understanding moral quick story for you. I like that, wondering where the pounds went. I think I was 22 or 23 years old, got my first full-time job out of college, and still living with my parents, was making pretty good money, got my first car, everything was great. And then I was doing the same thing, going out to the club on Monday was one bar everyone went to, Tuesday was another bar everyone went to, Wednesday we're back to the bar we went to on Monday, Thursday and Friday we're back to the same clubs over and over and over again. And I went to the bar one Saturday night or one Friday night, and I woke up Saturday morning. I had $400 in my pocket when I went to the bar on Friday night. Saturday morning I woke up and I had like $30 left, and that was my wake-up call, man. It's like, what the hell am I doing this every single week for, every single night? That was like a huge wake-up call for me, and that's what Dr. Syntax is saying. Like, you're wondering where the pounds have gone, where the money goes, man. Like, all this money you blow on shit that you don't need and put up your nose or put it down your throat. But now and then, outspend until they wonder where the pounds went, where the hours went. Understanding moral standards but people can live without them. It's all a burnout, cause by the time they work out, they didn't plan things the same way they always turn out. There'll be no time to learn how to turn it around and establish some firm ground. The answers weren't found quick enough. This is why men get into rucks, trying to be the significant other women lust for. Big and tough, thinking this is gutsy's ridiculous. Give it up, walking with your vision shut. Fisticuffs in city pubs, aggressive needs for stress relief. Nowadays everybody's got a chest to beat, but would rather be spared the grief of
Nowadays everyone's got a chest to beat. What a great line.
Give it up, walking with your vision shut. Fisticuffs in city pubs, aggressive needs for stress relief. Nowadays everybody's got a chest to beat, but would rather be spared the grief of a friend in need. So instead spend their every week living selfishly. As sure as the globe.
They basically what he's saying is, on that line there, they don't want to put themselves, when a friend's in need, they don't want to put themselves in a situation and the grief of helping that friend. So they continue to live, or they choose to live life selfishly. And I mean, how many of us are guilty of that? I I know I've been guilty of that. I've also been on the other side where I had a friend moving away to Ottawa, and he had a crap load of friends, man, and a pregnant girlfriend. And he asked if I could help him move, and I show up on a Saturday morning to help him move. And I mean, like, move everything. He was like leaving that Saturday to Ottawa, not coming back for a second load. Like, he was taking everything. And him and his pregnant girlfriend were there, and me. Like, no one else showed up. So if I hadn't shown up, him and his, and I mean, she was like pregnant. I mean, like 7-8 months pregnant. But I've been on the other way too, where you promise to do something and you make excuses, or you come up with a reason why you don't want to do it. Man, that's a great line. A very true line.
Friend in need, so instead spend their every week living selfishly. As sure as the globe spins, everybody's on their own thing, after everything for which they're hoping. Outspoken, but when their mouths are open, they don't think it's a soundtrack for all their showboating and posing. Everybody going through the motions of life in society based on self-promotion. So the only impulse and goal that controls them is how to get ahead. That's why we're all on our lonesome.
All we're worried about is how we get ahead. That's why we're all on our lonesome. Even when we're together, we're alone. Just focus on what's next for us. Oh, man. Man, Syntax showed me something on this track, man. Completely different dude. Different flow, different over top of a different beat. He's a lot of hard-hitting, honest lyrics in this verse, man. No clowning around, none of that. It's yeah, man, I really, really like this track.
How to get ahead, that's why we're all on our lonesome. Bust the problems of the world today. Bust the problems of the world today. It's only right that I address this. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Study lessons of building inner power. Some search for better, but most won't even try. Flashing and flossing, fronting like they rich with no intellectual enrichment.
Man, bunch of great samples at the end too. Oh my goodness. I can see why this track was obviously requested a bunch of times. Syntax is one of those guys that have played such a large role in UK hip hop, and it's such a good track, man. And like I said at the beginning, it really does speak to, even though I think it's 11 years old or whatever, it could have been released today, and nothing has changed, man. It's been a decade, and all the same shit is happening exactly the way Syntax is talking about it now. Maybe even escalated, maybe even on a different level. Pardon me. Maybe even on a different level, because of the fact that we have the social media, and it plays such a huge part, such a huge role, and with the algorithms and all that kind of shit, making sure that you put in echo chambers and only getting the information that fits in your mind state, and you have a certain belief set. All the algorithms just dump all that shit in there, man. The stuff that makes you continue believing what you believe, refusing to go outside of that, and getting information that may make you realize that you've been wrong this whole time, or maybe not wrong, but just maybe too far to one side. You move a little bit closer to the center in your belief that everything's not so black and white. I'm right, you're wrong. Far too much of that, man, and social media does nothing but feed into that garbage and dig a bigger hole for you. So, man, this track was fire. I loved everything about it. Apologize it took me so long to get around to it. Man, like I said, this week is going to be all about reaction, or all about recommended tracks. So until tomorrow, I'm not too sure what I'm going to get to. Right now, I'm going to go back to the list, give it a look, and see some of the things that have been around for a while, and then jump on those tracks. So appreciate all y'all for coming out and be part of the channel, part of this community we're building. I love each and every one of y'all. Until tomorrow morning or afternoon, whatever it is, stay safe. and be good to each other.